Most leaders don't know when they're creating fear. And I want to share with you 3 main ways that I see time and time again with leaders. The first one is when we instruct. And on a similar vein to that is when we are asking what we feel are insightful questions. That could be about really trying to get to the root of the problem. But sometimes it's also about demonstrating our prowess, our expertise. So we need to be mindful of that. Oftentimes also the certainty of your own tone with which you say something, like it must be done this way, or I'd like you to do X, Y, and Z, actually delivers an authority that maybe your direct report doesn't want to come up against, doesn't want to counter, doesn't want to differ from, because you've said it with so much gravitas, so much expertise or experience, that they kind of default and just say, oh, okay, he said do it that way, so I'll do it that way. Sometimes also it's the fact that we ask questions rapid fire, one straight after the other, without really giving someone either time to pause or think about it or process the question to make sure they've understood it. And so that can put us in a really flustered state if you're on the receiving end of that kind of rapid fire questioning. Now, the questioning might be valid. It might be to probe the approach, or have we done this? Have we approached that? And have you considered this? All really important things. But the way in which we deliver it can be fearful, can create that fear. And so we want to be aware of why are we asking the question, what's our intention in the way that we're asking it, what do we want to get out of this conversation? Because for the recipient, sometimes questioning can feel like you're just trying to catch me out. You're trying to show that you know more than me. And so that in itself, whether it's true or not, that might be the response of the person that you are sending these questions to. Your intention may be reasonable and you're actually wanting to educate that team member, but the actual result is that we stifle them. We stop them from speaking or sharing any other thoughts that they may have had. Another area I see among leaders where they unintentionally create fear is when they disagree, they want to spar or debate a particular point of view. To the person on the receiving end, that can feel either very definitive, very exact, or aggressive. And if we don't know how to respond to, or we're not used to being in a conversation that is quite lively, that can unintentionally create fear. We don't really know how to respond or how to be in that discussion. Add to that your authority, you being their boss, that adds another element of danger. And also culturally, it might just not be how we have conversations or how we discuss something. Another level of complexity in all of this is if this discussion is actually a public one, so like a team meeting, because what we create is an audience. And an audience, when you are uncertain of your point of view or how to respond, is quite a dangerous place to be. So while your intention might be to create or spark creativity, you are actually raising the cortisol or stress levels between the two of you. And when we are in a stressed state, we are most unlikely to be creative, to share something that is a different point of view or a different approach when we're not feeling very certain of the direction of travel here, the conversation between us. Something else that I see among smart leaders is this ability to be able to think way ahead than the rest of the team. And that ability, not only can it be intimidating for members of the team, so in that sense a fear, it can in ourselves create an irritation, a frustration that people aren't keeping up, that they are not thinking ahead enough about the problem or the opportunity. So that tension, that irritation, actually can leak out in the way that we express ourselves. So it might be a micro expression that we have, or our tone of voice, or our dismissal of somebody's idea during a conversation. If you know that there is a tendency for this to happen, that you're finding people either not speaking up or going quiet in meetings, and you sense that maybe there is an element of fear, you can reframe the situation and think about the energy that you want to create, or the outcome you want from this exchange. Now that takes some level of self-awareness to know that this is happening, to notice it, and then to respond in the moment to that. So you might notice it in yourself and then find a moment to say, actually, that's not the direction of travel I want. I'm going to pull back a little bit and make this space more inviting. I'm either going to slow down or ask some questions. Now, coach leaders learn to understand this, and they know how to apply their skills in a really intentional way, to be inviting, to ask the questions, to be in inquiry mode, even though they may feel like they are several steps ahead of everyone else. But in order to keep people moving with them, it's really important that they try and close that gap as much as possible. An additional technique here that takes practice is knowing when to step in with your knowledge and to course correct, or to build, or to create a stretch challenge for somebody. And that's something that we practice a great deal in our cohorts on Leaders Who Coach. So if you'd like to learn more about those skills and techniques, and when my next cohort is running, check out the website, coachlead.co. I look forward to seeing you there.